Time again.
Let's go, baby.
Where we enjoy ourselves, relax, have a good time, and feel connected to the world of possibilities, the world of INVITAS, optimizing human performance. Back to you, like every Friday, here at your favorite platform, because we're coming to you through different multi-platform broadcasting system. So we greet you, and we love to have you here again in the presence of these two wonderful guys, Richard Rocha and Dr. Justin Newman.
Woo!
Let's hear it for our wonderful guys.
For PK.
Yeah.
Okay.
And for our viewers,
Yes.
tolerate sitting with us for 20 to 30 minutes.
What is this? Round 5, I think, of our
Round 5.
series?
Feels like it. It feels like Groundhog's Day. It feels like we're in an algorithm here. But it's good. It's good. We're gonna
step into the matrix to step out of the matrix, or something like that.
Yeah. You know what they say? You know, the best way out is in, right?
Yes.
Talk about outer space.
Wow.
Let's talk about inner space.
That's deep. That's
and
deep.
Yep.
I love
And
that.
the last thing we were talking about was detox and intake.
Yes.
And today's topic, is the cellular and personal diagnostics. Be your own specialist, your own practitioner, your own doctor. Check into that. What is it you need? Let's talk about a lot of amazing things. Whoa,
this is why we help you connect with yourselves. You can visit with a team of specialists, but nobody knows you better than you know yourself. You're with yourself 24/7. We have experience, and we can guide you with a number of different types of expertise and diagnostic information too. But we want to, as Richard said, help you connect with your own intuitive self, so you can navigate your life going forward. You're not going to have the need, as much as we'd love to work with you forever. Nobody needs that. You've got to get into that fuller world that's waiting for you and run with that. Run with that. Your own true self can help you navigate those steps that are coming up. But how do we run through the personal and cellular diagnostics necessary to know where the individual and personal imbalances, deficiencies might be? How do we look at that person? So it's not guesswork. There's a lot of science behind what we have to offer. And of course, our diagnostic methods, they do involve a full assessment. We're going to have a conversation with everyone that comes in to find out what's their experience, what's their medical and health history, any family history, what's been going on, what kind of patterns are they seeing that are mental, emotional, physical, situational, where are they feeling stuck or challenged? Of course, we can look at their eyes, their tongue, their pulse. We even get a sense of their energy field and how they present themselves. Are they bright and vibrant? Sure, people take pictures of the aura even. There's a lot of ways to run diagnostics of the energy of the person, of the self, of the character even, and how it's lining up. But as far as science is concerned, we have a couple of very, very specific tests that we like to offer. All of our clients are encouraged to run at some point or other these types of diagnostics, so they not only know personally, but cellularly what's happening in your body that's unique to you. No two people with GI issues, digestive issues, are going to have the same backgrounds necessarily. Some people might be following a trend. Hey, everyone's into brain health or gut health, so everyone's drinking kombucha for my flora, so I'm going to drink kombucha too. Maybe you don't need that. Maybe you're taking vitamin A, but you need vitamin E, as Richard always points out. It's not always the trend. Is that a good fit for you? Okay, we need to find that out, and this is why we run our diagnostics. We need to be specific here.
Well, that's a wrap, guys. Thank you.
I'm laughing, guys, because
that was awesome.
you're looking at Richard's tie,
Yeah,
and
I know, right?
it's
so
a green
cool.
color.
Whoa, nice.
So
Wow.
it turned out to be an INVITAS tie.
There it
That's
is.
amazing.
There it is.
I love that.
Forgot to tell
I thought
you.
there was something special in my toothpaste this morning, but no. No, this is the movie magic.
Forgot
Movie
to tell you
magic is
that
happening.
is
we
so
work on
cool.
a chroma key studio, so that's the reason why if you bring any green color, that's what it's gonna show. But
Thank
It's
God
an
I'm not in
INVITAS
my
too.
socks and underwear. But anyhow,
You
that's a
learned.
whole nother segment we won't touch.
Filming on St. Patrick's Day would be a whole other story.
okay,
But we digress.
Right.
Yes.
Where we at?
Bring us back to diagnostics. So look,
right.
personal is a lot we can say, but how do we find out your specific deficiencies, what you need, and how much of it? There's science behind this. So let's start with a couple of the major tests that are offered, and we might differentiate these from what are commonly found out there in other labs and clinics. So
Yes.
because
let's
you
start
brought us some samples of what some of the tests of or questionnaires that you do, on people. So we're gonna look at them. Perhaps you want to describe a little bit. Let me just try to zoom in.
Okay.
Oh, very nice. Thank you.
That's really good. Thank you, Kike. I appreciate that.
What is
Yes.
SpectraCell?
Yes.
Richard,
So
tell us
let's-
all about it.
Oh man, this is amazing. This is a really amazing diagnostic, and this diagnostic is going to determine your exact deficiencies through live blood diagnostics sampling. It's going to take 31 micronutrients that your body naturally produces and uses in order to function properly. And it's going to find out your deficiencies or borderline deficiencies or abnormalities as far as these nutrients. The reason why this is so important is because we need these nutrients to fit in the cells in order to create ATP, which is energy. And when there's too much toxicity within the cell, these nutrients can't fit within that cell. So therefore, it's difficult to produce energy, ATP energy, when you don't have the proper nutrients. So this test is, again, it's a cellular test that gives us pretty much an image of how your body has been deficient within the past 3 to 6 months. And I say 3 to 6 months is because perhaps your diet has changed. I know some people who've gone from going vegan to going to some other kind of diet, carnivore diet, this, that, and the other, back and forth, all these things. So people's diets tend to change. And what's nice about this is because you can find out your exact deficiencies, if you know your diet hasn't changed much within the past 3 to 6 months, let's say you've been eating the same food for the past year, well, you've most likely have been deficient with all of these for the past year. So it's important to understand this, because once we find out your deficiencies through these diagnostics, as well as how your immune index works, your antioxidant index works, it's important to understand that, because then you can start taking these IV vitamin infusions, again, 100% absorption rate through them, in order to raise these levels of your deficiencies.
Maybe
What's
it's I
nice,
don't know,
real
maybe
quick,
it's a
just
dumb
one more
question,
second.
but you want to explain again why infusion works at 100% versus the intake of food going through the digestive.
Through the digestive system.
Yeah.
So that's the great question, and I feel that oftentimes people overlook that. So when you ingest something, a supplementation, there's so many effects to what happens, because when you ingest it, it has to be broken down and absorbed into the bloodstream. And by breaking it down, it dilutes it. That's why they say that you usually only absorb about 15-20% of what you ingest. There may be some that are a little bit higher if they're chelated or not, or all these other things, but it also has to deal with, are you able to absorb these nutrients? There's leaky gut situations, there's Crohn's disease, there's all types of GI issues that are going to interfere with the point of why you're taking this medication. On top of that, it's going to mess up the flora in your digestive system, and it creates a lot of issue, because we already know that the digestive system is the second brain. So they say a lot of feelings and hormones and all this, your immune system, 70% of your immune system comes from your gut. So it's very important that we preserve that gut. So by that, when we go intravenous, we bypass the gut, and you get the infusion of what you're infusing at 100% absorption, because it doesn't need to be broken down. It's already in its purest form, highest concentration, and it's right in the bloodstream. So you're directly connecting with your whole body. There's no dump, there's no waste. And that's the important part. So if for 100% absorption versus 15 to 20% absorption, I'll always go with 100% absorption to be key. Lastly, just to finish, this SpectraCell testing, not only does it test the foods and your deficiencies, but it also makes recommendations of what foods you should be eating. So you don't only have to get these nutrients intravenous. It'll also tell you what foods you should be choosing and how much you should be eating of that food to get what your deficiency is. And that is amazing. It's not like your regular blood test that's going to check your red blood cells, white blood cells, your cholesterol. It's not that test. We're testing cellularly at a very, very highly concentrated level in which it's precise to your deficiencies. And that is important to know.
One of the things I also love to know, to share about this test, that as a primary care doctor stands out to me, as you pointed out, is it's a live blood cell analysis. These blood cells are alive when they're culturing them and seeing how do they function when they're exposed to these various micronutrients, 31 essential micronutrients. In real time, these cells are alive and cultured so that you can see how they're functioning. And you get a picture of about 6 months of functional data and activity. Other lab work, you get a blood draw at your local lab, and they're going to take only a snapshot of that moment. Maybe we can test for iron and B12 and other nutrients, but it's at that moment. 5 minutes later, the levels are going to be different. Okay? This gives you a picture of function. And as Richard pointed out, energy production, detox, immune system, antioxidants. How are the cells functioning? And if they're deficient in one area or another, your specific deficiencies, then Richard can tailor infusions that are designed to cover all those bases, even as you might be adjusting your diet. Here in this sample test, you see where some borderline or functional deficiencies are in this sample client, and those specific nutrients can be infused, or if not so, they can be introduced by way of diet.
Wow.
But it's not only the snapshot of that moment, it gives you a picture of function, and this is really important to us as doctors, is to see how are you functioning.
Right, and what's nice is that you're not only just getting these treatments in our office, you're able to continue the treatments in your everyday life outside of our office, making the right, food decisions.
Because you're going to really know what you are missing, what you're lacking.
Exactly.
If you look at the next page in that slide, you'll have a fuller sense of all the micronutrients. There's 31 they test, and where they fall on this spectrum. Are they in range? Many of them are. But there's a graphic that'll show you. We walk you through that exam in your consult page by page. You'll see the Krebs cycle, energy production. Those yellows and greens and reds, those are different nutrients. The greens you might have enough of. Reds, functionally deficient. You need them in your cells to produce energy. If you don't have them, you are not producing the energy you need on a cellular level. You need them. And you'll know what you need, not because you've heard somebody tell you you need to take more vitamin B12, but you'll see how are your cells functioning.
You remind me of parents and grandparents. They would go, "You're pale. You're pale. You gotta get some
vitamin D,
liver, but
liver oil.
They will send you straight to eat something, no?
Right.
Beets or something because you're pale, no?
Good point.
I mean, there could be some truth to that. But maybe it's more complex than that.
Well,
the other thing is about lab testing, just real quick,
please go.
is that the lab tests traditionally not only are looking at snapshots, but a range of results for the average person. And maybe you fall more or less out of that range, but that could be normal for you or for your family, or maybe it's just out of range or even borderline at that moment, but usually it's fine. And with reliability, you can only establish if you retest again and again to see, are these numbers accurate and reliable? Is this a trend I need to be paying attention to? But with this live blood cell analysis through SpectraCell, you get an idea of function that's particular to you and your cells, not just the general trend of what's happening out there in terms of lab ranges across the board. They may not be specific to you.
Excellent. So again, we're talking with Dr. Justin Newman and Rita Rocha. They both manage INVITAS. You're located in South Miami, and your array of services include vitamin infusion, detox, massage, acupuncture, hypnotherapy as well. No, so many things in this under the same umbrella. We're talking about this this test. What will how do you perform the test? Would be the question.
That's a great question, and that's good to know. And thank you for asking that. So when you call us, you contact us, you schedule an appointment. You would be coming in. I'd be drawing your labs. It's 2 tubes. It's an easy process. I take it downstairs. I send it overnight over FedEx once I've already obviously packaged it and gotten the information and done all that part of it. And it arrives the following day. At that point, they start processing it. And it takes about 3 to 4 weeks to get the analysis to results back. There's often times when they may come back sooner, but I don't like to overpromise and underdeliver. And so I like at least there to be a buffer of space so that there's no misunderstandings. And I don't want the company to lose any credibility or us to lose any credibility based off the results of that. But it is a very precise test, and it does take time. It's not just running a lab overnight. It's growing to it. You come in, draw the labs, we send it out, and then we start a process on that. But go ahead.
Do you have any idea of how long have this tests been around? Is it something new?
So I don't know exactly to tell you how many years they've been around as a company. What I can tell you is this. For all the years that I worked in the ER, I love the fact that we were able to draw labs from patients and take it to the lab, and they would run it immediately. But it's like we said, it was just a snapshot of that moment of what was going on. I didn't know this kind of stuff existed. I didn't know these kind of diagnostics were even, what are they and what is all this functional and medicine and integrative medicine and osteopathic medicine and what? I'm from the ER. So some of these things, there's a lot of stuff out there that I don't know as far as diagnostics and things of that nature that I'm sure exist that have been around for a while. But this, I can tell you, I've been working with it for at least about 5 years now, maybe.
And live blood cell analysis has been around for
some time.
For a while.
So this company,
more than 10 years, I would say, conservatively. Although, apart from that, it's not something to hang our program on per se. You come in for the diagnostics because you want to know and you need to know and deserve to know. But we start the ball rolling. We're waiting for the results, but we're starting within a therapeutic process from the get-go. It becomes more specific once we get the results, but you may have had to go through some form of detox and cleansing and clearing anyway to make room for those nutrients. Maybe this isn't something we're going to start with on day one as the results are coming in, and we'll sit down with you when they come in. We already get the ball rolling, moving you in that direction.
And in that process, we're also asking you about diagnostics of the self, the personal. Where are you at? Again, how much do you want to disclose with us? How much do you want to conquer? How much do you want to learn? How deep down do you want to go? And where are you at? So it's important to also hear our clients, feel what our clients are feeling, empathy, understanding, even relating to a lot of our clients. So this is a personal diagnostic that we try to help people really connect with, to find out, tune in. What are you doing? What are you feeling? What are we doing here? What's going on? What are we really doing here?
And to make sure that if you are going to get infused and change your diet or make other changes, that it makes the most impact. You're not taking vitamin A if you need vitamin E, for example, right? Any money that you're putting behind your healthcare program, it can be put in the right direction and with the right amount of precision behind it also. You're not wasting time, you're not wasting money. So there are a lot of benefits there as well that fall under the umbrella of concierge or personalized medicine, and this diagnostic test is one way that we can do that.
Funny how something that in the world we're living now, just one thing is supposed to heal or prevent a virus. It's beyond my understanding. Just by listening to what just Dr. Justin Newman said, no? But just one formula for everybody. I mean, how can it be?
Right, exactly.
No?
Well, I may know. I don't know, but I can tell you that we do hydrogen peroxide IVs. And not only is that good to detox the body and the cells, but it also prevents from pathogens forming within the blood. It's great to kill viruses, bacteria, germs, infections, funguses, even cancer cells. So maybe there is, you're right, it's not one formula, but hydrogen peroxide, 2 essential elements, hydrogen and oxygen, maybe we're onto something here. Maybe there's something that's flowing and it's natural.
Maybe the amounts are the ones that vary, depends on the person.
Right.
No?
This could be, some people have very limited dietary intake, and as you've mentioned in other episodes, the soil's depleted, and the foods that you're eating, they may not have the nutrients in them that you need. Even if you think you have the perfect diet, you might not be getting or even absorbing what you could be getting out of your diet. In terms of fighting viruses, we know zinc and vitamin C are important, but are you getting them in your diet? Is supplementation enough to do it quickly? You know,
getting absorbed.
And are you absorbing it? Or are you taking
not just supplementation? It's also absorption.
And having somebody like ourselves to look out for you is important too, because many vitamins, they can become toxic in and of themselves if you take too much of something. Too many B vitamins, for example, can create neurological issues of one kind or another. So it's good to have a team of specialists to monitor and walk with you along this journey.
This may sound funny, but I'm thinking as we age, our digestive system, it's also ages, and our teeth. I mean, we start having some issues, like I am, with our teeth, and we don't chew the same the way we used to. So it all starts there, the breakdown of food, and how it travels through the digestive system and the breakdown and everything. It might not be optimal. And you guys, I mean, you're offering a solution to that, or at least, I mean, if the infusion is a great solution, but also the diet, you're going to help, you're helping the person in establishing a good diet.
Right, diet, pattern, understanding, education is a big part of what we do. Part of hence why we are here is to not only connect with the community, but to show you that there's this information that's out there, that's backed by experiences, by studies, by all kinds of references. And the truth of the matter is yeah, it's interesting though what you're saying though, because you're talking about, and this is where it gets fascinating, and this is where, you know, I start getting excited, because really we're talking about anti-aging, because we're talking about aging, and I'm talking about diagnostics to find out your deficiencies. So really what I'm talking to you about is anti-aging.
And biohacking.
And biohacking too. Biohacking, you hear the word hacking and you're like, wait, but we're hacking into your biological system. How? By finding out your exact deficiencies, formulating these cocktails in order to raise these deficiencies so your body can not only last longer, longevity, but be healthier, reduce the inflammation in your body, reduce the acidicness in your body. And that is when you start to sleep better, think better, feel better, live better. Colors can look brighter, feelings can feel deeper, sounds can sound better. It's enhancing your overall well-being. And what's beautiful about what I'm able to do is, it's people look for, and it's unfortunate, but we live in a society that people need some form of medication or to take something in order to feel better. And I'm able to do that with these IVs because they know they're getting something. In fact, sometimes, and we'll talk about this at another point in time, but the fear of needles. Let's talk about this, because this sounds great and all that, but you may be thinking, I don't want an IV, I don't want a needle and all that. Wait, let's just stop here and outweigh the pros versus the cons. And let's approach that fear and overcome it. But with that being said, this is very important stuff, and it is about longevity. It's about living your life to the fullest. It is a blessing, so let's live it, right?
And not just that, but as Richard points out, your life. Not because somebody says or you think this or that is the best way to go. You don't have to put guesswork behind what you're doing. There's science here. There are award-winning labs that compound these supplements, pharmacists, third-party tested. The labs we're working with, there's scientists. They're run by scientists and doctors. Okay, and so there's a lot of credibility and legitimacy that comes along with that, and we lean on that. So you don't have to take our word for it just by our many years of experience. But on our team, we have these reliable resources too that we can take advantage of and help connect connect you with.
Many of these nutrients are being appointed as essential for improving the immune system, like glutathione.
Glutathione.
Glutathione, I'm sorry. It's been mentioned so much during these days.
Yeah, and
especially for fighting the virus. Hopefully they won't, they won't disappear it.
Yeah, hopefully not. But this is what's fascinating about this. Our guts produce glutathione.
Okay.
So studies show when those levels drop, we age. What it is it's the strongest antioxidant that is known and is available, and it helps your body eliminate waste. So when you think about this, when you can reduce the inflammation and the waste within your body, there's more space for purity, for nutrients to fill these cells, to regenerate these cells, to be able to live a healthier life.
And you have the means,
oh yes,
with these vitamins to increase, to activate the production.
Well, we can push glutathione. So in the treatment, it's a separate treatment from the IV vitamin infusions, but we can actually push 100% natural, preservative-free glutathione into your body to raise that level.
Even as you're learning to help improve your body's function too, we're here to assist. There are exercises that you can do that help improve your gut function. There are different types of dietary change or ways to manage stress. Stress affects your digestive function and every other organ and gland function. So we can assist over time your body to produce a higher and higher level of, or to utilize these vitamins and nutrients more efficiently, but that takes time. By using infusions and a combination of therapeutic modalities, we can accelerate that process greatly. And there are other tests that we use. You were mentioning mercury, another conversation. But we want to talk about hair analysis. There's another type of diagnostic we run, which not only looks at nutrient levels that are being produced over a time span or give a functional picture, and how those different nutrients...
Every time I hear about the hair analysis, reminds me of those crime series that they're doing performing the DNA on a hair.
You learn a lot from the hair, and it gives you again a functional picture. We can also see. Don't worry, we have workarounds, which I'll spare you the details. I'll just leave it to your imagination. But besides another way of looking at function, you can see also in a way that the SpectraCell live blood cell analysis works. So it's slightly different. The proportions. How do these nutrients relate to each other? For example, too much magnesium can affect how chloride is worked inside the body. The cells need a proportion of these to function at a certain level too, so you get an idea of the ratios. But also with hair analysis, we get to look at something very important: heavy metals. Toxins and heavy metals that we may be exposed to in our environment, in our food, canned foods, cleaning products, some makeups. Any persons have aluminum in them. So that we're exposed to heavy metals in different ways, shapes, and forms, and hair analysis gives us a way of taking a look at what your body's cells might be dealing with right now in terms of heavy metal exposure and toxicity that can affect your neurological function, hormone production, so on and so forth. And infusions for detox. Hydrogen peroxide can be added with chelating agents. Chelation therapy, as Richard could elaborate more, can help pull these heavy metals out of your cells and out of your tissues. Okay, and if you don't take a look, you might never know. If this is one of the stones we have to turn over to find out where the challenges are that are keeping you back from optimal health, let's turn that stone over and let's take a look.
That's nice. Well said.
So we have so much ahead, so many shows that we're going to be exploring all of these methods. So we're so glad to have you. Dr. Justin Newman and Richard Rocha. This is becoming like a must-see show every Friday. And
if I may take it one quick second, I'm so sorry. So we, speaking as one, ask you to check in. Run a diagnostic in yourself. Who are you? What's your purpose? What do you want to achieve? Where do you want to go? Do you even want anything? Like, what? All these questions, just feel. let's go on this journey together. Right?
It's important to connect and feel, as Richard is saying. And one of my teachers told me, and it's probably not unique, he said, look, if you're climbing the ladder to success, make sure that it's leaning against the right building.
Exactly.
You get halfway along your journey and find out you should have gone, left instead of right, or whatever the case in point is. But if you don't check in with yourself and find out exactly, like you said, who you are, what do you want, where are you going, you might never really know.
And you waste a beautifully blessed life, and every day is an opportunity to chase and make and create whatever you want. So let's do that. Let's talk about that at some point in time. But you are beautiful, and you are special, and there's a reason why you're here. So let's make the best of it.
With that keynote, we're gonna leave you. Richard, next time I promise either you bring another tie color or I change the background to blue.
It's okay. No, I kind of like it. It's kind of cool. It's kind of different.
Well, we can try the green suit.
There you go.
So we'll be like the talking head, just the head.
Talking head. That'd be
the talking head
man.
effect.
I'm gonna look into that.
Anyway, it's wonderful having you as always.
Thank you, sir.
And all we can say is check their website, invitasforlife. You're gonna learn a lot, and just try, like Richard was saying, like run your own diagnostic and see how you feel. No.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
If you are the same as you were 10 or 20 years ago, the good thing is that you can recoup. You can get back to that stage just by getting rid of some toxins.
Exactly. Well said. Absolutely.
Things that are in the way.
Yeah.
So that's it for now. We love having you again. On behalf of the International Association of Alternative and Ancient Medicine, we are proud founding members, all of us here. So we encourage also you to check the website iam.net to learn more of what's going on in the alternative medicine realm. So thank you again, and see you next week, next Friday, with more.
Thank you, and thank you for spending time with us as always.
Baby, let's go. Woo! See you
Yes.
today. Make your move.
I can hear it in my head.